Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. So I'm gonna jump right into today's video because this is a prison story time video. And today's prison story time is gonna be on my first day in prison, okay? I'm gonna tell you all the ganky details. If you are not aware, you can watch my first video. I did 10 years in prison. I've been out a little under 2 years. So this is all pretty recent and fresh. Prison is ever changing, and a lot of the girls that have done prison channels and talked about their life, honey, girlfriends, home girls, everybody, prison is not like that anymore, okay? I hate to tell y'all, there's some good channels out there, like Christina's is good, but let me tell y'all, no, prison ain't like that anymore, okay? So I'm gonna bring you guys up to speed and fast forward into current prison life. Now, if you are not aware, prison and jail are two different things. They are not interchangeable. You can't throw the words around and mean one but say the other, or vice versa. It does not work. Jail is where you go when you are arrested and being detained. When you have more than 365 days, you will be transferred and housed in a prison, a Florida State prison, the penitentiary. When I was in court and they said, Jennifer Gomez, you are sentenced to 120 months in the Florida Department of Corrections, is what I felt, okay? I was not a saint. I was not living at the monastery by any means, but I was not a hardened career criminal. You guys are sending me up the road for freaking 10 years. You guys say 120 months and make it sound all pretty because it's months, but it's not, baby. It's 10 years. What the hell's going on? Nonetheless, okay. So every week there is a prison run day. It's called a prison run. The prison day in my county that I was in was on Thursdays. So every Thursday I'm waiting. I'm like, I can't sleep. I'm like, I'm freaking out. I'm anxious. I'm nervous because I know what, I know I'm going to prison. I'm not confrontational. I'm not like some rough, tough, badass. I will stand up for myself and make it appear that I am not scared. And there are moments where I might be so mad that I'm not. However, I'm not Billy Badass gonna walk around starting crap with people because I don't want to get cut in the face, hit with the lock, brain damage, stuff like that. Like, I don't want that. Like, I'm going to prison with people that are just like nonstop. They're go, 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 ready to get in your behind all the time. And, I don't know how to react to that 24/7, but I was gonna learn. I was gonna learn very quickly. So, okay. Thursday, boom, boom, boom. They knock on my bed. It's around 3 a.m. Gomez, get up, pack your stuff. You're out of here. Now, usually you want to hear those words when you're being released to go home. But in this case, So I'm like nervous. I'm sweating. I'm anxious. I know that this is it. And, they take me and we get on, the little hallway that's going to walk us down to this van. There are women in here, y'all, because I need to get you guys in the mindset, that are 70 and 80 years old. There are women in here that are 16 and 17 years old, and then there's everything in between. There's no potty breaks. There's no food breaks. There's no nothing breaks. As you are is how you will stay the entire ride. Some of these trips, depending on where you're coming from, can take 8 hours. Some of them can take 6. My trip was about 3.5 hours long to get to Ocala, Florida from where I was. I was in that van putting my armor on, putting my gear on, putting my face on, and getting ready. These women will see right through you. They can sense someone that's new, someone that's scared, someone that's naive or vulnerable or just green to the system. They can sense all of that. If you don't have street smarts, baby, when you get in there, they will see it all over your face. And guess what? They will come for you. And I don't mean come for you in like a bad, vicious, or attacking way. It's more of they will come for you and suck you dry of everything you have, whether it's money, friendship, relationship, material things, whatever it is. Those are some veterans in there that know the art and the skill of manipulation and how to finesse things. So you really want to be in the van, getting your armor on, getting your gear on, putting your face on, and getting that tough exterior up and running, okay? And that's what I was trying to do in the van. And the van is coming to a stop, a slow roll, and we know that we have hit the garage. The infamous Lowell garage. Okay? This particular prison is called Lowell Correctional Institution. It's in Ocala, Florida. You guys may have heard of it. It's been on the news. People have died there. Women have been abused, raped, beaten, and become impregnated while there. And I will tell some of those stories because I was there for quite a few of them. This garage is a huge garage. It looks like an airplane hangar. It's one that, the van or even a bus can drive straight into and close the thing like that rolling door behind. They open the doors. We are now getting off the van. As we are getting off the van, you immediately have correctional officers yelling at you. Be quiet, get in line, stand in the yellow line, don't move, don't look up, don't drop anything, don't, just screaming all these commands at you. And if you're not used to being barked at, this is very it's startling, because you're trying to catch everything they're saying, but at the same time, you're trying to move and, just do normal life things, because you guys get in the mindset of you don't even take a step in prison without somebody telling you to take a step. It's like they're really trained to do this and behave in this way. And to somebody that's coming from the street and the free world, if you've never been there, this is very, very startling, because you're looking at them what is wrong with you people? You can literally look at me and say, hey, get in the line. And I'm going to know what that means, and I'm just going to do it. They sit us on this steel bench, a very long steel bench in the garage. Now, there's 2 bathrooms in here that are just out in the open, but they do have little swinging doors, and there is men that walk through, so those little swinging doors protect your kitty cat from being exposed, but it's still pretty dang exposed, because if I'm peeing and you're a man and I don't know you and I can look in your eyes, I still feel violated in some type of way. I'm just saying, yeah, that little swingy door is there, but man, I'm still feeling weird if Joe Blow's walking by while I'm doing a tinkle. Okay? Just saying. Anyways, so moving right along, they start calling our names. We are now taken off of the handcuffs, the shackles, they're gone, and we're free. But we're not moving because these people are intimidating. So, we go up to this big steel counter, and on the other side of a counter is what looks like the back of when you go roller skating, and the roller skating cubby holes and all of that stuff. And then there's a person behind the desk issuing you your skates. It looks like that, okay? But much bigger. So you go to the counter, they tell you, are you this person? They ask you your birth date and just confirming it's you. And once you do that, you empty out all of the contents in your brown paper bag, everything that you own to your name right now. And for some people, all they will own for the life that they have in there. When they get out, it's all they're gonna have. So, excuse me, it's like a frog got in my throat. So, nonetheless, you dump that out. They separate what you're allowed to have and what you're not. You can have 1 shampoo, 1 conditioner, 1 lotion, 1 bar of soap, 2 bars of soap, a toothbrush, toothpaste, and deodorant. You can have writing things like paper, pencil, pen, envelopes, stamps, and a Bible. And you can have a gold cross and chain and a wedding band with no stones, or no stones that are risen stones. Did I say that right? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The stones that are lifted off the ring, a rising stone, whatever. Anyways, so that's what you're allowed to have. They separate what you're allowed to have and what you're not. So they separate my stuff. I'm prepared. I researched, had my family look up what we can take. So I have all my things ready that, we're allowed to have. You really need to come with your hygiene, because if you don't, you're going to be a real stinky, stankin' woman. So, and you don't want that because they talk about you. So they take what you're not allowed to have and they ask you, do you want to mail this home, have someone pick it up, or do you want to donate it? I don't know where the donation stuff goes, but I knew I wouldn't be seeing these things for 10 years. So I was like, go ahead and donate it. Whoever's going to get it, let's hope that, they appreciate it. Now they give me whatever it is I'm missing, a bedroll, which is just 2 sheets and a pillowcase, because I don't know why, because we don't have pillows. And then a blanket that I guess is supposed to be like a comforter, but it's ridiculous. It's like sleeping with a tinfoil covering, and whatever else you need. You get your stuff, they switch out your brown paper bag for a mesh laundry bag that's completely see-through, and they give you your stuff. You go sit back down. You move as a group. You move as a unit. Everyone you came with is who you move with, okay? So now you have to wait for everybody else to be done. And I told you guys, anything in the Department of Corrections, whether it's the county jail or the prison, takes hours. So we are literally here going through this process of sorting through our stuff for hours. But thank God, finally, when we're done, it's time, y'all. It's time. And if y'all know, then you know. But it's time for the shower and the strip search and the coughing and squatting, spreading the cheeks and making your flower pucker. Starting point of absolute misery. It's violating and disgusting and uncomfortable, but something that you will get very used to in prison. And I did, unfortunately. I pray that none of you ever have to experience this, but if you do, this is what happens. They herd you into a different room that is attached to this garage, and it has, I think, about like 5 or 6 shower stalls. So it's just like a little shower spigot that comes out of the wall that doesn't really have hot water. It's like lukewarm, but it's way more on the cold side. Tell everybody strip. After you strip, because you still have on your county issued jumpsuit or uniform, you take those jumpsuits and you put them in a pile, because they are going to be given back to the people that brought you so they can take it back to their county because it's their property. Now we're all standing there naked, and there's like no point in covering or trying to cover anything, because then you just look weird and awkward. So you have to try to stand there and look as cool and collective as possible, like, but your butt booty naked, standing there in a room with bright fluorescent lights shining on you, about 3 or 4 women, because the men aren't allowed in this part, walking around in front of you doing their job duties like as if nothing's going on. And all of you women, even 70-year-old granny down the row, and 16-year-old Susie down on this side, you are all standing there naked, trying to look like everything is okay and like you're not uncomfortable. But oh my God, you are really freaking out inside, or at least I was, right? Now, mind you, these officers take their time. They don't care that you're standing there with every goodie that God blessed you with exposed to the world. They are really taking their time, because they're just going about their everyday stuff. They see cooter kitties and booty rockets and little tittle bitties every single day in and day out. So they don't care about what they're seeing right now. It's nothing new. It's same old day, same old thing, different day. It's just another day in the life of, what we got, what God blessed us with, right? So they're not moving very fast, and we're just sitting there like, oh my God, please hurry up and do what you're gonna do. Hey y'all, so we're standing there, we're naked, we got our, our rocket pockets out, our rotor-rooters going, and our ittle bitties flopping. Okay, that's what's going on. So we're standing there naked. As we're standing there naked, I know the search is coming. Squat and cough, the famous old squat and cough. I know it's coming, y'all. I know it's coming, and I'm not happy about it. They tell us, one by one, squat and cough. So I'm thinking, like, just bend over and cough, but no, couldn't be that simple, y'all. There's 2 ways they want you to do it, because verbatim, this one officer says she wants to see the flower pucker. I didn't even know what she meant, but thank God somebody else didn't either, because they said, what do you mean, Miss Whoever Pucker? And they were a little more ballsy than I was, but she answered and she said, you need to make your butthole flex. Then you need to make your cooter kitty flex. Oh my God, y'all. I'm like, why did I ever date that guy? Okay, so first step is bend at the waist, okay? I'm going to try to give you guys an illustration here. You have to bend at the waist like this. Spread your legs like so. I'm not going to do it from the back because I don't want to like be perverted. But so like this. And then you have to grab each cheek, pull it apart, and cough. Okay? You guys got that? So, you bend at the waist, you grab each side, you pull it apart, and you cough. Right? Now, that's way number 1. Way number 2 is this. They want you to squat, but all the way to the ground, pull them apart, and cough. Okay? This has to be done 3 coughs each time. So bend at the waist, grab each cheek with one hand, spread them, and cough. That way they can see straight in to everything. But then you have to squat like you're doing an actual squat. So bend straight down at your knees and keep your upper torso and waist straight up. Bend straight down at your knees like you're doing a squat and pee when you've gone to the bar or the club one night, or you're out somewhere and you just have to tinkle in the bush because there's not a bathroom and you can't hold it, like that. So squat, pull them apart, and cough 3 good times. They can't see up inside at this point, but they can see if anything drops out because you are straight up and down, vertical. So each time you do this, you have to cough 3 times. Honey, y'all, my friends, my subscribers, my YouTube family, if y'all don't cough to like a level that they feel like is good, you're going to keep coughing and you're going to keep coughing and you might go hoarse coughing. I heard, oh my God, y'all, there was this one old lady. It didn't happen when I got there, but it happened in visitation because you have to go through this process every time you have a visit. And I had a visit every weekend, so I got used to this. But there was an old lady that had visitation, and she literally, I mean, she had to be between 70 and 80 somewhere. She's like so feeble and weak and like frail, and they are making this lady cough her ass off. And she's like, because to fake cough you have to but they don't want that. They want like that. That's what they want. Now I learned how to fake it like I just did, because all I did was just make a lot of noise. But they really want a cough that sounds like that so they feel like they're doing their job. And if you don't have some good lungs, it's going to be hell. So we all do this. We all do the squat and cough. We all do the bend and cough, pull them apart. We all make our flowers pucker and our, and our stuff flex. And so that's over and done with. So we know we're going to the shower. By the way, we're barefoot too, which is really gross. So we know we're going to the shower at some point in time, but we're praying this is nothing like the movies, okay? So they come around with the pump. It's like a pump. It looks like a hand sanitizer pump, or even like one of those soft soap hand soap pumps, right? And there's just like this fluid inside, and they tell us to put our hand out. So everyone puts their hand out, and they walk by and they squirt 1 squirt into everyone's hand, okay? I don't know if you guys see like my hair. It's kind of long, and it was like longer than this. It's not super thick, but it's not like thin either. But yeah, this is my hair. And I'm not a small girl. Like, I'm not big, but I mean, I'm not petite, right? I am 5'4", 5'4", almost 5'5", and about 120 to 130 pounds. So I'm not a small girl, but I'm not big either. I'm just average build, right? But I'm not really sure if this is like sanitizer for my hand. Is it body wash? Is it hair wash? Is it all in one? Is it all inclusive? Like, I don't know what the hell they just squirted into my hand, because it's in a non-labeled generic bottle. They haven't said anything, and it's very runny like hand sanitizer. So I'm totally confused at this point, right? Okay, so I'm standing there holding it, as is everybody else, because we're all confused. And they tell us now that this is Lice shampoo and we need to wash our body with it. Well, there's also some people on the line that are probably thinking what I'm thinking, which is, why in the hell are we washing our skin, body skin, with the Lice shampoo? Like, y'all don't get me wrong. I don't know if, how that lice treatment works and all of that, but I'm pretty sure they don't just squirt something into your hand and tell you to wash your skin with it. I think. I don't know. Anyways, so as we have it in our hand, we're still not near water. But they don't let us move. They tell us to hold on. And they come around the bin again, do a full circle, and come to each woman and now do the same thing but squirt it on our head. They don't even tell us, y'all. They literally just like take the thing, this is my phone, and they just hover it over our head and just and squirt. So now that same amount is in the middle, right? In our head. So we have a squirt in our hand, a squirt in our head. And we're sitting there like, what the hell? So now we get it, like, this is for our body and that is for our head. It's just Lice shampoo, and it doesn't like set up. It's just a really weird process. Like, I don't know what kind of half-assed crap they were doing, but That's what they did. So then they escort us like 5 or 6 at a time. I don't remember how many exact showers there were, but like 5 or 6 at a time. But there's like 30 something of us women, okay? Because there's different buses that came from other counties besides just our bus there. So if you're not one of the first ones, you're just standing there naked with stuff leaking down your head and stuff in your hand. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it was very, very degrading. It was uncomfortable. It was just like a very degrading, dehumanizing process. And it really is. It's one of the worst processes of prison that you'll ever go through, if anyone you know has ever gone through it. And God forbid none of y'all go through, okay? Y'all are my subscribers, my people. I feel connected with y'all, and I don't want y'all to please never go through this, okay? So, nonetheless, when it's my turn, I get in there. I have this in my hand. I have this running down my head. So I tap the button that looks like the button, and the water comes out, and I'm like, because it's cold. It's like yucky. It's not cold. It's not ice cold, but it's like tap water cold, right? So I proceed to like try to set this up, but it's not setting. I wash my body parts with it as best as I can. And I go ahead and try to do this in my hair, but nothing's setting up. So now I just literally feel like I have this hand sanitizer running down my head, but I'm doing my best, you know? So after about 2 minutes, maybe 1.5 of this washing process that they're putting us through, they tell us, cut the water off, because everything is yelled at us, okay? Everything. I don't know if they think that because we committed a crime, we may be hard of hearing. I'm not really sure if that's an intimidation, break you down thing, but everything is screamed at you, and that was the most aggravating shit I've ever experienced, y'all. Like, what the hell? Anyways. This makes me sick thinking about the whole experience. Okay, moving right along. Cut the water off. That's a nice way of saying it. And we cut the water off. Don't have that water running after they tell you cut the water off, because they're gonna come for you. So water's cut off. We're standing there barefoot, nothing on, just like, and let me just tell you guys something, and I do not want to gross y'all out or anything like that, but when I went to prison, it happened to be that time of month, okay? So you can only imagine what standing there for long periods of time was like for me personally. It was very embarrassing. I was very self-conscious. I was super embarrassed as hell, and I didn't know what to do. I ended up having to take the bra that I was wearing that was personal, so I didn't have to return it with the county stuff, because it was like a sports bra that I had gotten from the canteen in the county jail. And I had ended up kind of just sticking it down there to try to sop up what I could, so I wouldn't be standing there with just blood running down my legs, because of course, like, what am I going to do? And even if they gave you a pad, which they eventually did, it's still not going to be held up by anything. They don't have tampons unless you buy them from the canteen. And I'm nowhere near population yet, so I'm just making do. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that in there, because I want y'all to know this is a women's prison, and a lot of women go, and it is that time of month for them, and they're going through this process like I was, with no help. So we stand there and we wait. Everybody waits, and then they come by and they throw a towel at everybody, right? Help catch that towel, baby, because you don't want that towel to fall in any of that dirty water that's underneath you. There is a drain, but you still don't want it to touch the ground. So we kind of, dry off or whatever, and they tell us to grab a dress off of the door. So we grab a dress off of the door. Now, this is just a long curtain-like dress. It just goes over your head, has 2 armholes and a couple little buttons, okay? Some of them have like a little slit right here, and it's a muumuu. Goes past your knees a little bit. You put that on. Still no underwear, no bra, no nothing. So if it's that time of month for you and Aunt Flo's visiting, you're still just royally effed. Okay, so we wait in another little, like, on a wall, in another little area, but it's in the same room, on another wall, until everybody goes through this process, okay? I have this muumuu on, a sports bra between my legs to help Aunt Flo, and basically I'm going back to the steel bench. So now we're all at the steel bench. Now we're gonna go through the identification process where they call you up to a counter as I'm waddling there because the bra is between my legs. So I'm holding it together with my legs. They go in order, and because you're going in the same order over and over again. I'm pretty sure it's alphabetical order. So they call you to a desk and they do your fingerprint, they do your identifying marks and tattoos, your name, your date of birth, fill everything out, do all of that stuff, take your picture. You have to put your hair, behind your ears. You have to look a certain way and do all of this stuff. But let me tell y'all why everybody's prison pictures look so bad. Because you just went through a 2-minute shower with gas station hand sanitizer that they called Lice shampoo in your hair that didn't set up. So all you did was take water and some unknown substance, whirl it around in your head, make a huge matty knot, and then you're supposed to walk out and take a semi-decent picture. What? No wonder everybody's pictures look like hell. You just went through the weirdest process in life that was supposed to clean you, but really made you probably more dirty. So you go take your ugly picture, because there's no way. Let me tell y'all, I was in that second part after the shower when I was sitting there waiting to be called to the desk, trying to comb my hair out a little bit and trying to scrunch it a little bit, not because I cared, because there was some traumatizing stuff going on, but I knew that one day I would look back at that picture and be like, dang, I looked like hell. And I just knew when that day came, I at least wanted my hair to not look like a disgusting, matted mess, because that's what everybody's hair looked like, right? So I don't even want to tell you about the girls that can't, get their fingers through their hair like I could, because my hair is wavy. I flat iron it, but oh my goodness, y'all, there's some girls that have like really thick curls, or like even African American girls, like how they make all of us use the same product. Okay, now obviously my hair is different from just a straight white girl's hair, but it's also different than a black girl's hair. We all have different hair types. You're putting this weird unknown substance in our hair, telling us to whirl it around in this cold water, and what do you think we're all going to come out looking like? Come on now. So nonetheless, that was just a little side note. Everybody goes through that process. Now I'm like thinking, when the hell am I going to get a pad, some panties and a pad, so I can get a pad on, because this is not working. Because now, you guys, it has been like 2:33 that we've been woken up. We've gone through this process. We've driven there. It's between 9:30 and 10:30 at this point, right? So now they start calling us all one by one back to the bench. Now they're calling us all one by one to a little room. We don't know what the little room is until we get in there. But when we get in there, there's an inmate. Very, very, I remember, never forget it, because she's so freaking beautiful. And she literally was sitting back there behind this desk, and she was running shit. Like, she was running it. And I was like, she has makeup, her hair is pretty, her clothes look tailor-made for her body. This is a beautiful girl. Like, she's like stunning beautiful. And I'm like, dang, this is what they look like in prison? I didn't know girls that looked like that came to prison. I always thought it was like what I see on TV, some big gang banging kind of, whatever the stereotype is that you have in your mind. I know what I had in my mind, and this girl, Samantha, was not what I had in mind. So she very cold and flatly tells me to take the dress off. And I'm like, what? Because I have a bra between my legs, and I'm about to be major embarrassed in front of somebody who seems to be a pretty important inmate on the compound. I'm like, I'm on my period. She's like, I don't care. Take your dress off. I need to get your measurements. And I was like, okay. So now I'm realizing, I'm looking around, I'm like, oh, this is the actual laundry room where we're going to get our uniforms and like all of our stuff that we're going to wear for the remainder of however long we're here. So I'm like, okay, I'm down or whatever. She's going to take my measurements, and I'm going to get a tailor, nice made little uniform like her, and it's going to look good, and I'm going to feel a little better about my life, right? Y'all, I kid you not. I told her I had something between my legs because I didn't want to be super embarrassed. She didn't give a shit. She didn't even look up when I said it. Like, it didn't even faze her. So I take my dress off. I drop it to the floor. I'm thinking she's going to come measure me. And she literally looks at me, looks me up and down, did a once over, and yelled to somebody else that was working, stacking stuff, another inmate, get her a small top and a small bottom. I'm like, you don't need to like measure me or anything? I mean, I thought you were going to like get my measurements. She's like, I can look at you and tell what you are. You're a small top and a small bottom. And I'm like, well, actually, can I just like get a medium top and a medium bottom? Because I fluctuate sometimes. I'm a little skinny right now. But, you know, when I do gain a little weight because I'm not depressed, and she's like, I'll give you one of each. I know what I'm doing. I was like, okay, I guess I'm the newbie and I don't know what the hell's going on. I guess I all of a sudden just don't even know what size clothes I wear because I'm new, and somehow that made me not know what size clothes I've been wearing for, you know, the last 28 years. But cool, give me a small and a medium, whatever. So after that, she gives me the stuff. I finally get my hands on some panties. I asked one of the officers for a pad. They give it to me. I get myself together right there on the bench in front of everybody else. I had to do it right there because there's nowhere else to do stuff. I am now holding, you know, the sports bra that I had. I can't get up and throw it away. So I finally asked for permission to get up and put something in the trash. They say yes. I go do that. That's done and over with. Thank God. They end up going through everybody, and then they escort us into this little room where they bring us our trays for lunch, which is, I don't even remember what it was, to be honest, y'all, because I was so freaked out at this point, knowing that I was getting closer to being on that compound with everybody else, with people I had seen on Snapped and Dateline and stuff like that, and people that I hadn't seen on it, but I knew were back there, and just everything that I had worked myself up to thinking it was going to be. I couldn't eat. I don't even remember what was on that tray, but I just know the tray came. I pushed it to the side. I'm sure somebody else ate it. They made us watch a couple, like 2 hours of videos, you know, about prison rape and don't accept the honey bun from your neighbor, because if you do, she's going to think you're her girlfriend or her, you know, her bitch, and you're going to be indebted to her for the rest of your prison sentence, and don't do drugs and all this, that, and the third. And basically giving you an orientation video, trying to prepare you for a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't happen in any of the way that they said it was going to happen. Because it all happens, but it doesn't happen one bit in the way that they said it did in those videos. Okay, I'm just saying, not at all. I'm gonna tell y'all about drugs and contraband and girlfriends and fights and cutting in the people in the face and all that, but not today. It's just my first day in prison. Okay, so now that we've watched those very, very informative videos, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this day up. They start calling us one by one, giving us our room assignments on a little piece of paper. All it had was a letter and then a number. Okay, mine said R2122. Okay, have no freaking clue what that means. They don't explain shit either. Then they also hand me a paper that says itinerary at the top, which I have a funny story about that, but I'll tell y'all that in a minute. And it basically has like the first week of appointments, let's call them, that I have to do. So they hand me the paper, and I know this is it, y'all. This is it. This is the moment. We're about to be out there with, you know, everybody that has been on TV and everybody that hasn't been on TV. And I'm just praying to God, and I believe in God, and I hope, you know, that doesn't offend anyone, because it shouldn't, but I do. And I was praying a lot through this process because, y'all, I was scared. I was real scared. So I get up with everybody else. They tell us to get up, line up. We have our little bags now. We're looking a hot freaking, holy hot mess, okay? And we're finally getting out of this garage. We've had no natural sunlight the whole day. It's literally, we've been in like a cave all day with this fluorescent lights hitting us. And we go ahead and we start walking, and they open the door that leads to the rest of the entire prison. They didn't prepare me for what was about to happen in those freaking videos. They didn't prepare me. No, they didn't. So when they open the door, the sun literally, it's like something out of a movie, y'all. I shit you not. I wish I could reenact it, but I just don't even know how I would do it. The sun hits us all in the face. We're all pasty because we've all been in the county for a while where you don't get sun either. And the breeze comes in, it flings open, and we start walking out. And as soon as we hit the pavement, we are surrounded by gates, and inside those gates are dorms, and inside of those gates are picnic tables and pavilions and concrete structures and just inmates in blue running all around. And as soon as they see us come through and that door flies open and they know it's us and they see us come through, they run to the gates. And we're walking through the middle on a little sidewalk, on a little concrete sidewalk that looks like a track with yellow lines. And they're all on the sides of us yelling, hey girl, let me buy that uniform. Because apparently uniforms were like $10 brand new coming out of laundry. And when you were a new inmate, you got at least one brand new uniform. I got 2 brand new uniforms, thank God. I don't know how, but I did. And those inmates that have been there a while, they wanted new clothes because their clothes kind of look old and run down. Hey girl, let me buy that uniform for $10. Hey girl, I'll give you $20. Hey girl, let me get that shampoo in your bag. Because remember, they can see through our bags because they're see-through, they're mesh. Hey girl, let me get that shampoo. I'll give you $25 for it. Hey girl, let me get that deodorant. Because a lot of times the county stuff was looked at like a delicacy. It was like something different. Anything different in prison is always valuable. So if I came with, let's say a Dove bar of soap, but they're only used to seeing, Irish Spring, they're going to want that Dove bar. You know what I'm saying? Or if they have VO5 in the prison, but in the county jail they have Suave. When they see that Suave bottle in my bag, they want it. And, unless you can stand up for yourself, or unless you have a good, facade on the outside, or unless you're really tough, or unless you link up with some people right off rip or whatever, people will likely steal your stuff when you're brand new. So you really, if you are somebody that's a scary individual, somebody that's easily, easily taken advantage of, you might just want to sell your stuff so at least you can get some money for it. I didn't have any problems with theft or anyone taking anything from me throughout my entire sentence. I had a pretty good unit on my face, but I also had some good friends from the very beginning that really kind of kept me sheltered, and my time was fairly easy, but I saw a lot of stuff go down, and I'm going to tell you all about it in all these videos, but whew, thank God it didn't happen to me. So basically we're walking through. As we get to every, the end of every gate, there's a gate door that opens. And once that door opens, if you live in that dorm, in that park, then, because that's what they call them, they're separated by parks, you're going to go in there. So we stopped at the first one, which happened to be Quebec and Romeo dorms, Q and R. So they're like, if your paper says Q or R, this is your stop, get out of here. So mine said R, so, I broke off from the line and went inside. And they don't go with you. The officers don't go with you. So now I'm literally locked in this gate in this huge park. It's called a park because it looks like a park. It's a huge piece of grass, and it's got all the places that the inmates can sit outside, and then it's got the dorms. So I'm like, okay, common sense tells me I'm going to walk to R because that's where I'm housed. So I go to the R, to the dorm that says a big R on it. And I don't know what side to go to because there's 2 doors. So I go to one. I show him the paper. He's like, you're on the other side. Go to the other door. So I go out, go to the other door, go in. He tells me to get a mattress from the back. I go in. Now it's a whole new set of people looking at you crazy, asking you if they can buy this or that, asking you what your name is and all this type of stuff. And I'm exhausted at this point, y'all. Now it's 4 o'clock or something like that. They're yelling, chow, over the loudspeaker. I'm like, chow? What the chow? Okay. I'm just tired. I want to go to sleep. So that wraps up my first day, but I am going to tell y'all one little side note story. Remember that paper that said itinerary? I almost got in a lot of trouble for trying to escape the very first morning that I was there. The very first morning that I was there, I had looked and read that itinerary the night before, because when you give me an itinerary and I'm coming from the world, from a free world stance, I'm thinking this is what I'm supposed to follow, right? So since I think I'm supposed to follow this itinerary, there is something scheduled for the next day because it has the day. I got there on a Thursday. It tells me that Friday morning at 6 a.m. I am supposed to report to some place for something. But all it says on there is testing. I don't know what that is, and I don't even know where I'm supposed to go. It's got a room number or something on it. So I'm prepared to go there and report in the morning because I think that that's what I am supposed to do according to my itinerary. If you know what an itinerary is, you know that is what you follow. Y'all, next morning when they called chow, which is meal time, I looked at the clock and it was about 4:30. So I instantly got up and took a shower and got myself as together as I could, still being totally shook up at this point from being in prison. And I decide that I'm going to go out the door with these people and go ahead and go to my appointment. I'll be there a little early. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to be early, right? So it's like 5:15 or so. Because they wake us up early enough to like get, ourselves together and get dressed and get ready to go out the door to go eat breakfast. So I take a quick shower, I get myself together, and I go out the door. I go eat breakfast because there's still plenty of time left, but I don't want to get to wherever it is that I think I'm going too early. So I go ahead. It's still dark outside. It's November. It's still dark outside. So I go to eat breakfast with the rest of the girls, and we're being escorted. You have to be escorted everywhere when it's dark in prison. You cannot walk freely like you can when it's daylight. So I go ahead and I go to eat breakfast, and on my way back from breakfast, I see the building that had that itinerary, because I had the itinerary in my pocket, and I see the building number and I'm passing it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna break off here. So I am the last person in the line, and the officer, there's no one in the back of us. He's only in the front. So I stay at the door and I'm trying to open it, but it's locked. You know what I'm saying? It's like 5:45 now, like an hour has gone by. I'm like, okay, my appointment's at 6. I'm here, I'm good. So now I am literally waiting at this door. It's dark. The prison is, pretty much dead, except for the officers escorting people here and there to go to breakfast. This is the annex where they house all of the hardcore, high profile, major, high custody, highest level security prison with a gun tower that has the only death row in the state of Florida. I am there, okay? And I am standing in front of this door in the complete nighttime, basically, because it's just now the sun's starting to like maybe look like it wants to creep up from somewhere. And I literally, you guys, am standing at this door by myself like a moron, not thinking to look around because there's not one other inmate in sight. All of a sudden, I hear from that tower over there, "Inmate, what are you doing? You're gonna go to confinement." Solitary confinement, it's the whole jail, whatever you want to call it. "You're gonna go to confinement. Get to your dorm, da-da-da-da." And I'm like, I don't even know they're talking to me. I hear them, but I don't even know the jargon that they're using. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. Y'all, I shit y'all not. It was like 6 officers ran to me from the tower to put me in handcuffs and take me to jail for escape, because I was standing out there in the dark by myself trying to get into that building that was locked. So when they get there, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is wrong with you people? And they're like, what the are you doing? What are you doing? You don't walk right. You dumb. Are you slow? At that point, I should have realized if I said that I was really just didn't know what was going on and a little on the dingy side, I probably would have made out better. But no, here goes me. Pull out my handy dandy itinerary. "No, gentlemen, look, I have an itinerary and it says I'm supposed to be here at this time." Those people felt so bad for me. They thought I was so dumb. They could not understand how I thought it was okay to just walk myself around the prison in the dark. But thank God they took me back to the dorm. They explained to me that I was a complete idiot and that I cannot do that, and that everywhere I go, especially at night or especially if it's dark, I have to be escorted by an officer. I don't just take myself places. And the itinerary isn't literal. It's just figuratively speaking. It gives me an idea of what I'm going to do the first week and where I'm going to go, but it does not actually mean I report my own self to those places at those times without any supervision. Entering the life of an inmate. You cannot even think for yourself, you cannot move for yourself, and you cannot make a decision for yourself, and I had to get used to that. So nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed my first day. It was very draining. It was draining even telling the story, to be quite honest. I found myself not being as hyped up as I am when I tell the true crime stories, because I felt a lot of emotion going up and down telling that, but I'm sure that's gonna happen with a lot of stories I tell you guys that are personal. So if y'all have any questions, hit me up, let me know. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, please, or even just comment down below if you didn't like it and let me know what I'm doing wrong or what I can do better. I appreciate y'all's help. It really, you know, it's awesome to hear back from you guys, and if you can subscribe, that would be awesome too. It's free for you, but it helps me out a ton, and I will really, really like to take this channel somewhere. So if y'all can help me grow, kudos to y'all. I appreciate it. So I love y'all. I thank y'all. And I thank y'all for sticking through this with me. And I hope y'all have an awesome, awesome weekend. Take care.